Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be the worst products that I tried in 2022. I already did part 1 to this of the best products. I will link that video above, but I thought it would be fun to go through and maybe just roast a few products here. So if that all sounds good to you, if you like roasting videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's just talk about some bad products. All right, before we get into it, I do just have one product from every category. I didn't want to talk about 20 different products that I didn't like. I really wanted to go through every category and just pick the worst of the worst of what I tried for 2022. So this shouldn't be too long of a video. I don't really have any primers. I completely skipped primer because I haven't really bought any new primers. I haven't really tried any new primers. So we're gonna jump straight into foundation. Now, this foundation, hands down, the worst foundation I tried last year, and that is the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude Foundation. I should have known because I bought this on sale. That should have been my first warning sign, but this foundation is just terrible. I have normal leaning dry skin, so I would say like a good amount of foundations work for me. I don't have very finicky skin. This foundation, first of all, it didn't wear at all, like maybe an hour. It completely broke apart on my skin and all of my oils came through. For not having oily skin, it felt like it was just melting off of my face at the end of my wear test. I did a wear test on this. I'll link that video above, and it was just terrible. I tried some not great foundations last year. This one just beat them all. I don't know what it is about this. It's not a true to skin natural glow foundation. It has way too much glow. It's not natural. It's thick. Like you would think with Neo Nude, it would be a little bit of like a sheer, a light coverage, but this is like a true medium coverage, and then it just doesn't stay on your face. It just comes off your face 100%. Now, luckily for concealer, I didn't hate this one as much, but when I was going through looking at my videos, out of all the concealers I tried this year, this one is just my least favorite. It wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't great, and it's not one that I see and want to reach for. So I am talking about the Pat McGrath Labs, and this is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. I just don't like this. I don't know if it's the shade I got. I got the shade L7, and it's maybe a little bit dark, but this concealer just didn't knock my socks off at all. In fact, my socks stayed firmly on my feet. They didn't move at all. It just is an unremarkable concealer for me. There were so many great concealers that came out. The Huda Beauty, the Charlotte Tilbury is a great concealer. But this one, while it didn't come out last year, it was the first time I tried this Pat McGrath concealer. And I just have to say, it's not special. It doesn't stand out. It kind of just got lost in my concealers. And I was going through and I was like, oh yeah, I tried this concealer this year, but I don't remember it. It just doesn't stand out. And for being a luxury brand, like it should stand out. I should remember it, but it doesn't do anything. I don't remember it covering my dark circles very well. I don't remember it being long lasting. I don't remember it really being like smoothing and blurring on my under eyes. Nothing great. It wasn't a bad concealer. Like it didn't break apart. It didn't, just crease everywhere and disappear. But other than that, like it's just not special. Now for powder, this might be my most controversial opinion yet. For powder, I decided that the Guerlain Meteorites was the worst powder that I tried in 2022. Again, not released in 2022, but out of all the products that I tried, all the powders, this was the worst. This isn't terrible. In fact, I quite liked it when I first got it. The whole thing though of this being like an extraordinary product is just not true. So it has like all these little balls in here. There's a ton of different shades. They come out with limited editions. This is like an iconic product, which is why I got it, because I thought like if I'm a makeup collector, this is just something you need to have in your collection. And while it smells nice, that's about it. The amount of times these little balls got everywhere, I dropped them, they came out, they spilled, something happened to them was quite often. It's very powdery. Like when you put your brush in it, powder just kicks up everywhere, so it's just messy overall. I did used to wear this similar, if you saw my best of, you know then that the Givenchy pressed powder, the Prism Leave powder, was my favorite powder. And it's very similar to this where it has the different multicolored pigments in it. This just is bad execution. It looks pretty, it looks fancy sitting on your vanity, and that's about it. I just don't find this a functional product. I don't find it a useful product. The pressed powder works so much better, gives a better effect. This is just messy. And other than that, like, I'm just gonna display this out on my vanity in my bathroom, and that's about it. That's the most use I'm gonna get out of this. I think that this is just a highly overhyped product for no reason. There's way better luxury products out there that still have beautiful packaging and give you the full luxury effect without just being a pain in the ass. Moving on to Complexion Blush Bronzer Highlight. So this next one is probably the one I'm the most upset about. I just feel straight up scammed on this product. I don't know what it is, but I'm talking about the M Cosmetics and the Serum Blush Droppers. I have 4 or 5 shades of this. I just pulled out one shade. This is the Venetian Rose, but this I was so excited to have. I had been wanting this for years. This did not come out in 2022. I tried it in 2022. It just disappointed on all fronts. It's my most disappointing product because I wanted to love it so much. The formula is bad. The applicator is bad. They did repackage this and fix the dropper, it looks like, but if you already bought this product and I already didn't like the formula, I don't know if I want to spend more money trying to see if the new packaging is better formula, better packaging. Like, I just don't want to waste my money a second time. The dropper like barely works. Like, what is this? Can you see that? Like, it's just popping out a bubble. So you have to wipe it on your hand like this. And then this looks pigmented, but it is a serum blush. And yes, I probably should have known from the name serum blush, but it is so sheer and it just doesn't stay on your cheeks. I don't mind a sheer blush, but the fact that it's like sticky, my hair would stick to the blush and it would fade just really fast. It looks beautiful right now on the back of my hand actually, but transferred onto the cheeks, it just doesn't translate that way. It doesn't last on your cheeks. It is sticky. The applicator was a pain in the ass. You have to use a brush. You can't use a sponge because if you use a damp sponge, it's only gonna make the wetness, stickiness worse. Overall, I just feel scammed by it. I just feel scammed by this product. I'm sad that I have 4. I'm going to be doing my declutter series soon. Those are going to be the next videos I'm going to film, just like a beginning of the year, new me, new makeup collection kind of just series. And I will probably declutter all of those serum blushes. And that makes me sad because I was really, really looking forward to those when they launched. And they just went to waste. I just completely wasted my money on it. Now for bronzer, I picked a cream bronzer for my best stuff, so I thought it was only fitting I would pick a cream bronzer for my worst stuff. Now this is the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer, and I have the shade Seychelles. I think that's how you say that. This just wasn't good. The shade is off. The shade just looks bad. And then on top of that, it is very, very pigmented. The shade is a little bit similar to the ABH cream bronzer that I have in Amber, I think is what I have in that. However, it just doesn't blend well. It just sticks to your face. For a cream bronzer, it's not creamy. It really just was like very splotchy. I had a hard time blending it out. I just didn't get along with this cream bronzer whatsoever. I don't know what it is about it, but 100% the worst cream bronzer that I tried in 2022. Everything about it, blendability, shade, longevity, all of it, terrible. I don't recommend this product. I don't see anyone talking about it, which is probably the first hint I should have had on it, but it's just not good. I think it's part of their like subline, their Sugar Rush line. And it seems like that subline is just a complete dud. I don't think I'll be trying anything else from there, but overall, not a great cream bronzer. They can do better. I think I just saw today, actually the day that I'm filming this, which is Monday, that Tarte released their cream bronzer, but almost in like a Charlotte Tilbury dupe. So I wonder if that's gonna be better than this, but I'm not gonna try it, honestly. This just turned me off enough. I don't need to try like a dupe product. I'm happy just knowing that this cream bronzer didn't work, and I'll just stick with my Nars, which is hands down the best cream bronzer ever to exist. For highlight, I don't have a terrible highlight that I tried in 2022, but I do have a highlight that I completely forgot I tried last year. It kind of was just in the back of my highlight drawer, sitting there, being forgotten about. And it wasn't that I hated it, it's just that I didn't even remember that I had it. And I'm talking about the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow. Now, when I tried this highlight, I actually quite like it. I like this highlight. The formula is a little bit stiff, but it is a blinding highlight. It's just a casual champagne gold. I think that's what it is. The shade's just nothing special to make me want to reach for this. And because of that, it just gets lost in my highlight drawer. I don't think about it. I don't reach for it. So it's not bad, but out of all the highlights that I tried last year, this is just the one. It was just sitting there. I completely forgot that I tried it. And just like this Pat McGrath concealer, it's just a subpar product. And for the price that you pay for this highlighter, I expect more, especially from Natasha Denona. I've heard the same thing about her pastel highlighter that just released. I was considering getting that because the promo photos looked amazing, but it sounds like it's just a little eye trick that they did to make it look cool, but the shade is just like a very boring everyday shade. So I'm not gonna pick that one up. And after the experience with this, I kind of feel like the products that she's releasing now have less thought behind them, and it's more just about quantity being put out rather than quality, because now she has a base of customers that she knows are going to buy her products regardless. So it just feels like she doesn't care about the quality anymore, and that makes me a little bit sad because it will eventually just catch up to her, and I hope that she just rethinks her strategy overall. And the last product that I have is the worst eyeshadow palette I tried in 2022. So you probably thought this was going to be the Bobbi Brown Jadestone because I've really talked about how much I hate that palette. But no, I am actually going to give it to the Lisa Eldridge palette in the shade specifically Muse. Now, I chose this palette over the Bobbi Brown because this just seems like a dud palette out of the 5. I got the entire collection of the Lisa Eldridge palettes, and this one just seems to be weird. It's not working like the other ones. The other palettes I really enjoyed. I'll link my review of them up above. But this one, something's off, and that's why I decided, because I could compare it to Lisa Eldridge's other formula, and since it's the worst formula out of all of them, I just decided that that's going to be the worst palette that I tried over the Bobbi Brown, because maybe that's just Bobbi Brown's quality. I haven't tried other formulas from her, so I don't really know. This just was terrible. Like, you can even see here in the camera the hard pan on these, and I've only used this palette twice, maybe 3 times. The formula just isn't consistent with the other palettes, and I don't know what it is about this. This shade specifically, like this one, I have to like dig my finger in it. It's Love in Venice, and it doesn't even show up. Here's Taffeta Fan. But even the velvets like had fallout on them. They swatch beautifully. Like, it's still swatching really nice on my hand even. But this one, what is this? Tea Room. You can kind of see that it's a little bit powdery. It just doesn't blend on the eyes. I don't know what it is about this palette. I don't know if I got a bad one, but having loved all the other Lisa Eldridge palettes and this one just being not the same quality, made it the worst palette that I tried last year, and I'm sticking to it. I'd love to know if your Muse palette isn't performing like others. I did see some comments in my video that some people got allergic reactions to the Muse palette, so I don't know if there's just something off with it or if it's just mine, but this is just the most disappointing palette that I tried last year, and I'm sticking to that. But that is all I have for today's video. Make sure you let me know in the comments down below some of the worst products that you tried last year so I can make sure that I stay away and learn from your mistakes. I know not all of these released yet last year, but I'm still playing a little bit of catch up on just products that I wanted to try. So all of these were first impressions of last year, but that is where I'm going to leave you. I hope this video was helpful and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone.